Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Camera is drooping a little bit. Welcome to part 4 of my Give It a Whirl workshop series. In this video, you're going to learn how to make a card similar to this one. I'm using the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. I'm using the Sweet Little Stockings greetings, but I'm also I think I'm going to switch it up and use some other greetings, but you'll see, because although I like the Sweet Little Stockings greeting, I'm thinking of using one of them, and then I was going to use a technique from this other one called, here it is. I guess I put it under here. Here it is. This one. I'm thinking we could use this greeting as well. Right? Be cool, be chill, be merry, or part of it. And I thought that way I get to teach you a little bit about masking and stuff like that. Now, I need to just fix my camera for a second. I'm sorry that it's a little bit shaky. I'm going to raise it up. You raise me up. See, I'm going to try to sing here while I'm raising up my camera. All right, so let's jump into this. All right, there we go. So let's get started. So the reason I chose this now out of these Penguin Playmates cards, the reason I chose this particular card today is because I just grabbed the designer series paper I had, and the only paper I have right now because of my situation is they're already cut in 6x6 pieces. So I had to use what I have, and that's how the design came up. It's like, what can I make right now to show my crafty friends for part 4 with the design, with the paper the way it's cut. So you can make a different design the way your paper's cut. In other words, can I fit, I was looking at this card and I said, can I fit this polar bear and make another card like this with the paper I have? And I just checked it out. I was like, okay, well, these are the only pieces I had. They were already cut in 6x6. So I went like this, and I was like, well, it's not going to work there no matter how I did it. See, I wouldn't be able to get the card base. So then I was like, I have this piece with Mr. Polar Bear on it, but then I'm like, well, I want to put the heart there for his face, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So then I'm going to have to put the little whirly thing down here. So I thought I could put the little whirly thing down there, right, and put this heart there, and I got his face perfectly. So this one would work. So you see how I came up with this design. Now, if you don't have a piece of paper, because you bought the kit, maybe you bought my Give It a Whirl kit, and you don't have a penguin in the right spot because of the way I cut the paper for you, then try this technique, try a different one. Just get it, or just try making a different card with me. In fact, the idea behind what I'm doing today is something like this. So go ahead and do the snowman card. Right? Do the snowman card. What I'm trying to show you is how you're going to put the head. You're going to line up the head with the body. So in other words, you're going to just do the snowman card instead. You might not do the penguin card. Or you can maybe just not line up the head and the body and do something else. I just want you to work with your Penguin Playmates paper today. And then, if you're in my VIP group, you've been sharing pictures, which is awesome. I love it. And you've been sharing your projects, and it makes me so proud. So your card might not look exactly like mine. So we have everything there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with this part. So what I want to do, so you're going to take your, let's see, platform 1. Okay, this is your sandwich. Platform 2, your thin die adapter. Cutting plate 3, and then we'll put cutting plate 4 on top. Or not cutting plate 4. It'll just be called another cutting plate 3. You're going to put your paper down now. This is the trick. If you're just new to my series, and again, I'm sorry for this droopy camera. I'm doing the best I can. I keep sort of traveling and moving around, and I have this little droopy camera set up. If you're doing this one here, so with a piece of basic white, remember the trick I've been teaching you about this. If you just take your piece of basic white, this is a card base, and you were to stick this on there, and you try to cut out this, you're going to get this big line across. And I told you can use different things to get rid of that line, that indentation. And I said you can use, different things like parchment paper, etc. Right? Well, there's an easier way. So if you missed part 1, 2, and 3, I've been using this technique a lot. You're going to put this piece, you're going to put the designer series paper underneath your basic white. So it makes sense? You're putting it underneath, because then if you get the indentation, which is fine, right? The indentation, remember, this is going to go right here. Here, let me get back to this, because you're gonna take your little window. It might not be the heart, but I'm doing the heart. See how your window is going to be perfect for this little bear? That's why I'm putting this right where I'm putting it. That's just so you know, underneath. But I have to put this paper on top of it because first of all, you need both the designer series paper and you need the basic white when you're doing your cards. You need both. So I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape and make sure these don't do the old slipperoo on me. So we're going to put the piece of painter's tape like this, right? We don't want this to do a slipperoo. Actually, well, we should put it on top of the metal. Let's get the metal there first so that my metal can get indented. Because I like the indentation. You know, I like when it does the little perforation through both. It'll perforate through both sheets. But now I'm going to put the piece of tape there. I don't want this to slip because I want my little bear to line up right. Okay, so I'm using a piece of painter's tape to make sure my die doesn't slip. It only matters with this. It didn't usually matter with the other projects we've done in the series, but in this one it matters because underneath there is going to be this little heart for the head, and I have to make sure that everything doesn't slip. Now, it's very important that you put this little paper, push that in. Get everything, it's 6 inches wide, your platform, right? Get everything to fit in the 6 inches, even if it's a little close to the edge there, because you don't want your paper getting caught. So now I got my machine here, so just so you know, we're going to crank it through. I'm using the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so you can't see me cranking it through, but I mean, maybe you can. Maybe, let's see. Here goes the getting dizzy time when you raise me up. Okay, here we go. I got my, this is called an Archon stand. It's very wonky. I do have another tripod, but it's not set up yet. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I put the platform down, and you've talked about the sandwich. I don't like in this series for you to miss any step. And I want you to see even the pressure that I have to apply. So you're going to hear a crunching noise. Ugh! Hear that? See that? Crunching noise. Don't worry that it crunches because I got designer series paper, cardstock, the whole 9 yards in there. That's why it's making those crazy noises. Does it matter? No, it does not matter because it still does not break my machine. Okay, I was really close to the edge there because I was making sure that my little polar bear was in the right spot. And again, my whirly thing is down here, even though we're making this card. I already lost the card. We're making this card here. Right, but my whirly thing can't fit up there because of my designer series paper. I have to put my whirly thing down the bottom left. So here's the magic. Here's the magic. Now we're going to take your pokey tool, poke the hole through there. I still did get a little bit of a line through, but that's all. It's all good. Okay, so but it didn't get as much of a line. See how much of a line is on this one? I didn't get as much of a line on my designer series paper, but I still got a little bit of a line. So what we're going to do now is we're going to adhere these two together. Now, one of my crafty friends told me a tip. They told me to use they said if you do get a little line, which is not much, they said they use their bone folder to help get rid of their line. Now, I don't think I even have my bone folder, but I have this spatula thing. So where's my? It's probably on the end of the pokey thing. So I guess the idea behind it was just pretend this is my bone folder, okay? The idea was if you do get lines and you're doing stuff with cardstock, then you can maybe get rid of the lines by going, I guess, on the other side and using your bone folder. It does work a little bit on mine, but of course it will work better with the bone folder. You're just going to flatten those out. But we're not going to worry about it because we don't have them that much because we're just doing it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere these two together. I'm going to get the seal or the snail. No, Seal Plus. So I'm going to adhere these two together. So we're just going to do that. Before we even do the little heart, I'm just adhering them. I'm not adhering the middle part because I need my heart to come off. So I'm not adhering this part right there. I'm not putting any adhesive behind that because I need my heart to be able to come the heart loose in a minute. All right, so we're putting this together so that to make sure these don't slip. Now, you always need a piece of cardstock behind your designer series paper for when you're making Give It a Whirl cards. You must reinforce your Give It a Whirl cards. Don't try to make this whole little platform with the, oops, it didn't line up. Don't try to make a whole platform without using a piece of cardstock behind your platform. You won't be, it won't hold up. It's better to look at this side, I think. Right, because it just lines up better. All right, so we got it. It's all lined up. Okay, good, good, good. So there's our piece. Yippee yay yay, we're doing good. Now we got the platform again, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to put our heart down. Now remember, we're putting our heart down, but this rips the painter's tape rips my paper. However, if I don't use painter's tape, it's the old saying, right? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't use painter's tape, the problem is you won't be able to line up. The heart will go wonky when you put the platform on, and the heart will go a little wonky, and you'll be like, oops, oops, oops. So I need painter's tape, but I don't want it to rip my paper. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm wearing cotton right now. I'm going to take the painter's tape. Let me see if you can hear this. I'll put it near my... Hear that noise? That is me using the painter's tape as a lint remover. I'm getting lint all over this thing. I'm using it on my shirt. I'm using it on my pants. I want to make this tape very not sticky. I don't want it to be sticky. So I'm getting a lot of lint on here so that I can use it on here, but it won't rip my little bear. Okay, you can also just I was going to put the tape in the middle, which I usually do. The problem is putting it in the middle right now, I can't afford to rip that little bear's head off because I need this head as part of my design. So I just used it as a lint remover so it doesn't rip my paper. Hopefully it doesn't rip my paper. I didn't make it too sticky, but I don't want the thing to slip. I'm going to put that sandwich together like that and crank it through. And let's move this closer so you can see it. And again, this is a tight sandwich, but that's why the thin die adapter makes it a tight sandwich. All right, did I forget something? It didn't make a noise. Oh, there, it did make a noise. I was like, wait a minute. Make a noise, make a noise. Okay, let's see. Please don't rip my bear. Please don't rip my bear. Actually, I have other bears that I can actually use that I decoupaged. I just don't want this to rip my bear. So much for putting all that lint on it, right? Well, that's perfect anyway, because actually that's what I wanted to be perfect. This one I actually could use a different bear for. From my bucket of crafty goodness from the Scan and Cut. But we're going to see if we can't get this off. Boy, you saw how loose I put the tape on, right? But now it's still so sticky. And it looks like it's ripping a little bit. Even after me using it as a lint remover. You know what? But that's okay. Because I have my bucket of crafty goodness and I have other bears in there. So that's what I mean. I'm going to have to take those out. That's good. So a lot of you guys are my Scan and Cut users anyway. So we're going to do what I did earlier and just let go with it. So the reason I had done this first design the way I did was because I had ripped my bear when I tried to line up the heart. So it's okay that your bear's ripped. Now, if you don't have a bucket of crafty goodness from your Scan and Cut, don't worry if you don't have a bucket of crafty goodness. And if you don't have a Scan and Cut, you won't even know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it because you can just get another piece of paper from your Give It a Whirl kit and cut out a second bear with your little scissors. And those of us that don't have to use scissors, don't use scissors. We use our Scan and Cut, right? Those of you that have to use scissors, get your second piece of paper I gave you and go ahead and chop this out with scissors. See what I'm doing right now? This is what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and take this piece here. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. It's pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to make it like a sort of a 3D. So what I'm going to do is take this little guy and I'm gonna like decoupage it. So instead of, and I'm only doing it because I ripped it. I was just gonna leave his body there. It wouldn't have mattered, but because it got all ripped because of my tape, because of me trying to line up the heart, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so see what I'm doing? And I'll put a little tree over there later because there's a little rip there. All right, I'm gonna line up my little bear. I'm gonna turn it over. You're gonna get a marker. Oops, not the thick side of a marker. Any marker, because it's not going to see through. I'm just going to kind of... Here, let's put all this down. Let's put this down. So, let's make sure everything's lined up in there. So, we're going to line up his little head. Right? That's cool. He's going to line up in there. But I need to get this little guy to line up. So, this little head fits. Something like that. And so, I'm just going to turn him over. And I'm going to put that little line there. And hopefully he lines up good. That's how I did it last time. All right. Now, I wouldn't have had to do that, by the way, if I hadn't ripped the paper. Just so you're all tracking with me. If you're painter's tape, and my painter's tape's very strong. If you had just used washi tape right now, your little bear wouldn't have ripped. Or if you had more lint on your paper than I did, it wouldn't have ripped. Let it rip. We don't want to let it rip, actually. Don't let it rip. So, because mine ripped, I'm just going to do a little decoupage like I had done earlier. And this is what the fun is of being live. You get to see me make mistakes. And like, I think my second, was it my second video that I just made so many mistakes that we couldn't even count them all, but we kept on rolling. So what I'm looking for now is a pair of scissors. And you would think that would be easy, but not quite, because I don't know if I brought. So we're looking for scissors, paper snips, so I can get this little bear to go in there. One second. Okay, I had to get them from another whole section now. What we are trying to do here is take this little bear and cut. So he is going to be like a 3D little bear. And then he's going to be popped up on the back of the card. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, now, always use Wink Estella. Oh, there's a little nip on his little. And if you want to know how I made all these bears, my whole bucket of crafty goodness, it was all from Scan and Cut. But you don't have to have a Scan and Cut to do all these projects. You could just get out your scissors and chop it up. So I did use Wink Estella. Make sure you Wink Estella your whole little bear. Oops. It's always good stuff here. And we're just going to pop it up with dimensionals. And you could do this to the whole background. I'll be doing it to like I'll put a couple trees back there. I'm going to put a couple extra little animals back there, and we'll put extra crafty goodness. Also, you want to Wink Estella his head. I'm just going to Wink Estella the whole little heart. All right, so there we go. We have dimension. So you're going to get your little dimensionals. I'm going to use, this is just for this little scene here. I'm using the small ones. Now, we're not using the adhesive sheets. We'll be using them for the back of the card. So let's go ahead and put that. Okay, now, you got to make sure you put your little brad down. You're going to hide your brad. This is the other reason it's nice to use decoupage, and that's why this card is different. All my cards are way different. In fact, every single time you see me make one of these cards, I'm showing you another technique for this Give It a Whirl workshop. So what I think was cool about this technique in this particular card was one of the things that was cool is that you can hide your brad, right? So you can hide the magic behind this card by hiding your brad behind the bear's body. So I thought that was kind of cool. So you're going to take one of your round and square brads from your kit, and it doesn't matter which one you use, but I would probably use the white one, a little white one. You can use a little white one, a little black one. I would use a little round one probably because you're hiding it. I mean, it depends. I mean, it's just hiding behind there, but you don't want it to rub against your bear too much. So you might want to use, like if you use a square one, right, then it might not rub against your bear as much. Let's see. But if you use a little one, it might hide it as much. Let's just say, no, I'd probably use a small one. It'll get hidden. The little square one might hang out of the bear. So it might be like poking out. So I would probably use this one. Right, and then it hides behind your bear. So I would just stick that like this, and then you're going to put that piece of tape. Okay, where'd you go? I mean, seriously, there you go. So we're putting this little piece of tape behind there. So we're going to go like that. We're going to put this piece of tape. Wait a minute. I think I need my wheel first. Hold on. We didn't even put our wheel on there yet. We'll put this on. We'll put the bear on last. We got to put our wheel on there first. I'm like, wait a minute. There's nothing for it to spin. All right, no problem. So now we're going to take our wheels. Now this time I'm going from the point of, we already cut out the wheels ahead of time, right? I've already gone through the point of, you know you need 2 wheels. Hopefully you know that you need 2 wheels. You need a wheel to stamp on or to put your little bear hairs on, and then you need a wheel to reinforce that. So you're going to glue 2 wheels together. So I've already done that part. So let's go ahead and get that. Let's go ahead and do that part. I'm going to go ahead and move my camera back down so you can see me stamping. So what we're doing now is we're doing the stamping part. And I'll say hi to everybody, right? So I'm going to say hi to everybody and just sort of get my stamping part done. So the first thing you need to know with your wheel is, the first thing you're going to do is line up the bear. And then the second thing you're going to do, and we'll attach to it. So we're going to put that there. Let's go ahead and move this around. So you could put this in for a second. I mean, you could, right? If you want. We can use our template, but I'm just going to put that there for a second. I'm putting the brad in there, and I'm going to go ahead and line up the bear. That's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and spread my bear. I'm going to go ahead and spread the brad out for a second. We're going to take it back off in a minute to reinforce, but let's just put it in there so that nothing slips and get this exactly lined up, okay? First things first. And go ahead and use glue, adhesive, but whatever you do, do not use rolling adhesive. I mean, not rolling adhesive, that's what I'm using. Don't use dimensionals. Don't use dimensionals because you don't want to raise up this little heart so it starts popping out. So I'm going to use rolling adhesive. I've put my brad in there. Everything's tight, right? I'm going to stick my little, okay. Oops, I'm sticking this in there first. Now I can use my template, because the template we talked about making before you can use. But, you know, we don't need my template. We can use this one here, but I'm just saying, you have templates that you made with your black heart. Okay, I don't know where my black heart template is. But the point is, yes, last time we used this one for our box, right? We used templates. You could use templates to stamp onto. So we could do that. We can make ourselves one with the heart. But what I'm saying is you don't want to use the template for this one because this one has to line up exactly. And now you can turn it, right? So let me just take this out though. I can take this out now. And we'll use like a different method to stamp the rest. So only time you need to do that is to line it up perfectly. And then after that, we're going to go back to the old way we stamped, which is by using our little templates that we have. All right. So I'm just going to take this for a moment. And I'm going to take the heart of the matter, which was here. Okay, let's find everything. It's weird because like I have like nothing here and it's like already lost everything. Here we go. So we have the heart. And what I'm going to do is just make us a template for stamping real quick. So if you missed that first video where I made templates, all you're doing is taking a black piece of paper that you can stamp onto, line it up with your hole, right? Line it up with your hole, stick a little piece of tape there, crank it through, and you'll have a little template that you can stamp onto. All of you guys just go ahead and get your templates because you guys have done your homework. You probably have the template you need. I'm just making a new one because we need something to stamp onto. Never stamp right onto this, because if you get ink on your designer series paper after all that work for your card, you're going to be like, you know, messed up. You'll be like, oh no, I just did all this work and then I got ink on the side of my card. So, and really, the more you watch these videos, the easier these cards are. I've made like 100. I mean, they're really easy to make and fast. It's just that I'm doing it methodically, and I usually do things in stages. All right, so now what I want to do is this. I'm going to take this template, which we have this one lined up. We're going to turn it. Go ahead and line up that hole for a second. I'm going to take the brad back out in a minute, but just line it up, right? Sort of turn it. Make sure Make sure you're not showing that little bit of the heart. So turn it to about there. It doesn't matter as long as that heart's not showing. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Just make sure that the dots line up, that's all. And you're going to go ahead and take a little piece of tape, right? And turn it over and go like that. Okay, so now this is our template to stamp onto. Whew, let's get the black ink. I'm just going to use black ink because I was going to use the other kinds of ink, but I didn't bring my other kinds of ink. So let's just use the black ink. And we're going to do 1 sentiment from here, the Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry, and we're going to do 1 sentiment from the Peace, Joy. So I thought Peace, Joy, and Kisses is the cute sentiment I'm going to do from this sweet little stockings. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Penguin Place. So we're going to use Peace, Joy, and Kisses. Peace, Joy. Uh-oh. What happened to the Peace, Joy, and Kisses? It's like missing an, oh no, it's not missing in action. It just looks, you know, it's not missing in action. It's all stained. But it's okay that it's stained. And grab the stamping block. Okay, I'm working on a concept right now with this next, one of my next cards, and I had worked on all these cute little stocking critters, and I'm coloring them. But, so my stamping block's a little bit wet. So we're going to just do Peace, Joy, so I had to wipe it off. I'm just wiping it off like on my pants. So Peace, Joy, and Kisses, and use your silicone mat. When you stamp, put your silicone mat down. Okay, oops, there goes my tape. Line up that hole again. Here, let's get the pokey tool. Let's get the pokey tool and line up the hole. There we go. Holes lined up. Making sure I'm in the right spot. Okay, so we have our template. All right, we got our Peace, Joy, and Kisses, and I should put it on something just to, let's get a piece of scrap paper here. I'll just put it on here for a second. I'm just using this heart as a scrap paper, just to make sure that it's stamping correctly, that I have enough ink on there. Okay, it looks good to me. Okay, and I'm just gonna do Peace, Joy, and Kisses. And the reason I just thought the kisses was nice because of the heart. Oh, I love when my stamps work. All right, we're going to take it and we're going to turn it around. And we are going to do the Be Cool, Be Joy, Be Merry. But I thought it would be fun to do it the way I did it on another card. So I'm kind of combining another technique from before. So we're going to take this and I'm going to turn this around. Okay, so we'll turn this, well, we could turn this around. We don't really need to worry about it now. We're just going to put a heart in there. So here's what I'm going to do. I just thought this would be a fun technique. I'm going to go like this. All right, so anywhere I could put this heart. I'm going to put a heart, so we have to make sure it doesn't interfere with that or interfere with this. All right, so somewhere around here, I'm going to put a little piece of tape, and we're going to put a heart that we're going to cut out. So here's what I thought would be fun. And I did it on another card. We're going to take this paper here, which has little dots, and it's a coordinating color. And we're going to take this, and we're going to just go ahead and take our little platform, and we're going to cut out a heart. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to cut out a heart with this. So we're just going to go like this. So stick it down, stick it like that, and cut out a heart. Okay, and you know how to cut out a heart. We've been doing this for a while. You might not be able to see my machine right now because I'm just cutting out a heart. And then we're going to stamp onto the heart. And the reason I thought this would be fun is it gives us a little technique of just sort of repeating a stamp without having to mask a stamp. And I just think that's a lot nicer than having to mask a stamp. So first thing we need to do is see, put that, it'll fit it right in there. So we're going to take this heart, we're going to stick it there. And we're going to take, let me show you the card I'm trying to do first. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. I'll find it. It's one of these cards I did it on. I think I did it on this card. Yeah, here's what I did. See how I did this? This is what we're going to do right now. I thought it'd be fun to do this on this heart. We're going to do the Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry. We're going to repeat the pattern at an angle. Okay, you understand? And then we're going to do that, and then we're going to have that in the window. So that'll be fun. And it'll be more fun if I find the stamp. So find the stamp set, and then I'm going to say hi to you guys. So I'm taking the Peace, Joy off of that one. And I'm taking the Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry out of the Penguin Play stamp set. So, because I know, like, out of all my things that my people, my customers have purchased, this is it. Like, this is the, no one has purchased anything more than the Penguin Plays. Like, I think that's the most hot seller of mine. So I know a lot of you have this as opposed to the Sweet Stockings. So more of you have this than the sweet stockings. More of you have this Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry stamp. So I'm just trying to use stamps that I think you might have. But again, you can do this whole course with whatever stamps you have. So I'm just doing it at an angle like that across. We'll test it first to make sure that it's on there right. That's the only stamping block I have right now, so I'm just going to use that little small stamping block. Whew, we've gone far. We have gone really far in this card, so we're getting there. Wow, a lot of you guys have come and joined me today, despite all the craziness. Hi, Yvonne, and Melissa, and Linda, and Pamela. No, it's not bedtime, it's crafting time. Janet, Joanne, Denise, Diana, Carol, oh, Denise from Canada, Louise from New Zealand. All right, I got you guys from all over the world. Denise. Okay, it says tape. Yeah, Post-it tape. Yes, use Post-it notes. I just don't have that stuff with me, but I should have used Post-it notes. That's a good way of holding it on without ripping my paper. Okay, warm up the tape with the heat tool. Excellent, Yvonne. I don't have a heat tool with me, but Yvonne, great idea. Heat up the tape with the heat tool. I love you guys. Purple's painter's tape's not as sticky. I don't have Purple's painter's tape with me either. But I love, Denise, I love all these ideas. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Robin. Okay, so Denise, once you learn the scan and cut, she's talking about scan and cut videos. Yeah, you guys have. What is that pen you're using? Oh, this pen? Okay, she's asking. Luis, this is like the most awesome little tool. It's called Take Your Pick. Let me lock it in there. I call it the Pokey tool, but it's not called the Pokey tool. Take Your Pick tool. It has putty on one end. Putty on one end. And it has a little spatula on one end. You lock it in there. It has a Pokey tool on one end. And then it has something on this end. What's neat about this end here on the Take Your Pick tool, it doesn't look like anything there, but it's a way of holding on the die brush. There's a die brush that fits on the other end of that. So you can pull off this. I can pull off this one. Wait, I can pull off this. No, you know what? I just pull out the whole thing. That's all. I pull out this whole thing and I replace it with the die brush. So that's what this is. It's called Take Your Pick tool. And it comes with some extra putty refills. These are for picking up your sequins. All right, I'll say hi to more of you guys later. I want to move on. So tap, tap, tap. Get your little scrap paper out. Let's find some scrap paper. We'll just use this right now. I'm just, I'm kind of limited here. So we're just going to use the scrap paper as the other side of this paper. Only because I don't want to get ink like all over the silicone mat where I will, but in a minute. But I just want to use this as a test. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure my stamp is working. Be cool, be chill, be merry. That it's all inked up and it's even. Be cool, be chill, be merry. See how it's even? That all the ink is even? Perfect. So that's what I want. You're just using little scrap paper, and now you're going to then you're going to take your thing, and you're going to just start to make sure that you can read these sentiments. So you're going to go be cool. You're going to go up to the top and go be cool, be chill. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? And then you're going to go down and you're going to move it around. You're going to move it over, and where it says be chill, you're going to start with be chill. Be chill, be merry. Okay? And then you're going to move it back over to the be cool. Put the be cool first. Be cool, be chill. Don't worry that it gets cut off at this point because you already got the saying. So now it doesn't matter. Then go over here and put be merry first. Oh, no, we'll do chill again. Chill. Because they can read the sentiment once, so it doesn't matter. Okay, then you go, let's put be merry here. Be merry. Be merry. And then let's put cool. Let's put the word cool right down there. Just cool. All right, you get it? So you got all these cool. I just love doing that to stamps. It's just so fun. And we're going to put it on our card. Let's make sure with our Pokey tool that it lines up. And we're putting this heart right on there in that exact spot. Again, use liquid glue, or in this case I'm using seal, because what you don't want to use is the puffy dimensionals, because if you use puffy dimensionals, the darn heart will get stuck as you're trying to turn the corners. And this needs to be flat down there. So we're going to use this adhesive. Then we'll test it all. And then we will give our card a spin before we add the extra layer. All right, good. So let's test this. Let's make sure that, oh wait, we need to put the little brad in there. And we'll get my little, here, we'll get our card that we're going to test it on. Test. Before we do that second layer, I'm just grabbing any brad just to test it. always test your card before you go and seal it all together. So we got be cool, be chill, be merry, right? We got our cool little head, right? And then we got our little, oops, I got something there. Peace, joy, kisses. Okay, oops, and now I got this stuck on the back. I don't know how I make such a huge mess just from that little bit of time. So we're gonna unstick our poor little, come on. Okay, get him off because he needs to go on the front of the card, not the back. And we need to add another layer. So what we need now, we're going to fix that little smudges with trees. I'm going to add some extra trees here. Add some extra stuff there. We're going to add another layer behind here. So always double up. Let me find one that I've messed up. I don't think I've messed any of these up, but always double up your wheel. Make sure you reinforce your wheel. Okay, so again, just attach that with some seal. Put seal on your wheel. And then I'm going to fix the smudges once it's in the window. I'm not going to fix them yet. I'm going to fix them. First I want to put this together. And I want to touch it. I want to see if I can attach that like with once it's inside the window for a minute. So I got to find my card. I'm going to move this little thing, okay, because I don't want to get any more ink around. So what I'm doing is now, we're done with the inking up. We're going to close this over and put it over here. So what I'm going to do is assemble the card. Now I want you guys to use your piece of soft seafoam. And I'll be using whatever color I can find. I think I might use white as my background. But let's get my bucket of crafty goodness and see what we can do here. How we can fix that little smudge that through the window. And I gotta find, okay, here's my window. So I'm gonna take this little brad and I'm going to put it in the window. Like that. I'm gonna take my brad and I'm gonna put it in the window and I'm gonna turn it around. And it's a double window, right? So we used, a double circle. And we're gonna put that piece of painter's tape back there. And that's gonna keep the paper from rubbing. All right, so now that we have this together, and don't worry, we're going to fix, so let's see what else I can put. So what I do is I like to take my little bucket of crafty goodness, and I'm going to have a seat while I play with little crafting with you guys and see what I can do here to fix that little smudge. So I think I can just take, you see how that's sort of right there? We could put a little, I'm just seeing if I can't fit a fox in there, unless I maybe might fit a tree in there. But will it look good when they do the peace, joy, and kisses? Nope. I might just have to go put a star later, a little snowflake. But I can definitely put something right there. That's not even something to hide. That's just something to put there. So I could put something like that right there. That's not even to hide a mistake because there's no mistakes, but let's see if this little fox will fit in there. I'll fit in there, so cute. Oh, he's going to be cute. I didn't know he fit in the heart, so cute. We're going to put the fox in the heart. So basically, you don't have to be limited to 3 sentiments or 3 little parts. It's whatever you can fit in your circle. You just don't want things to be interfering with each other's views. So like if there's you can't see anything else in the circle right now, so put something else in there. And then of course he needs Wink Estella. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Put him over a little bit. And again, like I'm going to cover the little smudge later with, so then we got be cool, be chill, be merry. And then I'm going to cover that smudge. I'm going to put something maybe there, but maybe not. And then I'm just going to cover that smudge or just get something white. Maybe put something white on that smudge. Or maybe not. I mean, like probably a snowflake though. Like I don't think anyone's going to care. All right, so now that we got this, now if you're new to this series, you need to make sure you do this part very methodically. And this part is using the foam adhesive sheets that have come in your kit. Okay, so you're going to take the foam adhesive sheets. Very important. These are going to raise up your card. Okay, you're going to raise up your card. Let's cut them down. Just cut them so they're easier to work with, like in little pieces, and just sort of put them on the edges. So we're going to put one down there. And then we'll put, and we're going to also use dimensionals. And if all you have is dimensionals, then that's fine. But I made sure that those who got my kit got these. And we're going to put this like here. See? You just kind of piece them together. And get them as close as you can to the wheel, but don't touch them to the wheel because they'll interfere with your wheel spinning. You want your wheels to spin. Make sure your wheels are spinning. All right, get the piece here. Maybe cut. I'm getting some that are a little bit smaller, like here. Now, just so you don't get any. Oh, and by the way, I heard a good tip too from one of my. You guys are great with the tips with the Crafty Friends tips. If you were using, like, if you're making a Halloween card like we were last week, right? And we used these maybe a week or two ago. We used these adhesive strips, but we were making Halloween cards. So if you are making Halloween cards and you're using adhesive strips, you can color the sides here with a black marker. So that if the little white parts are sticking out of your card, like if someone's peeking in your card from the side, they won't see white, they'll see black. Isn't that kind of a cool tip? So color it with your marker. And I'm just doing this, again, I'm just making sure that the wheel is not interfered with, but I'm putting some of these little pieces around. So you're building up this little wall around there, and then you're going to adhere that to your background of your card. And what you want to do is, after you get all these little ones in, then you want to supplement that with your dimensionals. And you might even have to use two layers. Like these are the mini dimensionals. So in the case of a mini dimensional, you do need like 2 layers on top of each other because the dimensionals are so short. You want them to be as high as this foam adhesive. So I just kind of double them up. So I'm just kind of double up. I'm just putting a couple there. This just keeps your card from drooping. You don't want your card to droop on the edges of your wheel. The most important thing is for your wheel to spin properly. And so you want to raise up the card around the edges. Okay, so that's good enough. I mean, that's probably good enough. We could put one over there, I suppose. And then we could take the adhesive off. So go ahead and take all the adhesive off. And that's what I keep calling the pokey tool is for, but it's called the take your pick tool. It helps you when you're trying to get adhesives off and you're trying to pick up the sequins. I mean, it's a great tool, but I mainly use the spatula. I use the spatula all the time for, getting my little things off the mat with my scan and cut, and I use the spatula for picking up things. And the putty once in a while I use for sequins, but I tend to honestly just use my hands for the sequins. And sometimes for this too, whatever's faster. All right, so all our adhesive is off, and now what you need is you're going to make your card. So all these cards have card bases. So what you want to do is in your kit you were given pieces of, let's see, I'm pretty sure this color here. You were given this color here, soft seafoam. So that's what you're going to use right now, soft seafoam. And you're going to you can take your extra piece, or you could put cardstock under here, or in this case, I'm just going to use designer series paper as this layer. So let's cut that layer because this is boot camp. This is a workshop series, and we make everything that we need for our cards from scratch so that every video will then stand alone. So what do we want to put this on? Let's see. This will be a good one, but we don't want to mess up with these really cute front. See, like this is we don't want to cut into that front. Let's see what's on the back of this. This is okay. We'll cut, although this one works with the punch. I hate to cut into these backgrounds. They're just so stinking adorable, right? But what I'm trying to do is come up with what can be behind. I hate to do it, but I have 2 of each. We're going to do it. We're going to cut into this one. It's going to be our little part that sticks out around the edges. See, what we're doing is I'm just going to cut a little piece that sticks out around the edges. So I'm going to put this off to the side so it doesn't stick all over the place, and we're going to get out our handy paper trimmer. And I think I need to raise it up again, so you guys can see everything going on. And what we're doing is you have a paper trimmer and you're going to make it, I'm going to do the stripes horizontally. So I'm going to go with 4. Okay, let's just move some space here. I'm going to go with 4 by 5 1/4 for my layer here. Okay, 4 inches by 5 1/4. This is just your A2 card base with your A2 card base with the 1/4 inch sides. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to turn this piece around, and put it up in the corner so it doesn't slip, right? Put it up in the corner of your trimmer. It has a ledge. Let me stand up. I've been sitting down because I was tired, so I'm going to stand back up because I'm going to lean over. It's better that I lean over and put this straight down so that way you can see the part sticking out on the sides. So I like that little stripe. And if you really want to save some of your cute stripes, like you could have die cut the inside because you're hiding this anyway, right? You're hiding this, and I could have die cut some of the inside. But I mean, this paper is free, by the way. It's a celebration paper. You don't even have to pay for it. So don't skimp out. Oops, I forgot to put that little bit of, I should have put a little bit of adhesive under there. A little bit of, what I like to do is right under the wheel to keep it spinning smoothly, is I like to take a piece of adhesive. I'm going to take the part off, just the bottom part, but I'm leaving the top part on. And what I like to do is right under the wheel to keep it spinning freely. I should have done it before I adhered this because I did it in all the rest of the series. I'm just getting this up for a second. Right under the wheel, right there. This is just one of my other tricks from doing like 100 of these cards. Right under the wheel, I'm sticking this piece under there. Shove it under there. Okay, oops, don't let it stick out. Okay, it doesn't stick out, that's perfect. So in other words, it's a little piece I stuck down, but it helps me make my card move freely. And of course, the more you put, what is it called? The more you put glue on these as opposed to other things, like you're going to put glue on these and they'll go down better. And I will glue these down a little bit too. So this will move smoother. So now what you're going to do, yay, it's moving smoother because I'm just kind of the way I'm holding it. I was squeezing it before a minute ago with my hand. So it's moving smoother. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm happy. And I hope you guys all have a happy card that you just created as well with me. Now you're going to take your cardstock, which in your case, you're going to use your soft seafoam. And in my case, I think I have a white base right now. Like that's just what I have with me. So we'll see. I'm just going to use one of my thick basic white cardstock. And I typically would actually probably like it to open from the top because those kind of cards look better, kind of open from the top. But it's okay. I'm just using what I have now. And, well, actually, I don't even need to adhere it because you know what? I'm going to try to find a piece that I can open from the top. But take your soft seafoam base here. Pretend you have your soft seafoam base that you just cut, which I taught you how to cut last week. And isn't that going to look cute? You got your soft seafoam base, which matches, and then there's your finished product. So what you're going to do now is you're going to attach that little extra, because this is all ripped. I'm going to show you now to take your little thing from earlier, which I got messed up, and we're going to attach it. This was the part we cut out with the scan and cut, but you can just use your scissors. And I ripped off a couple extra pieces because it got stuck on the back. So we're just going to go ahead and attach him, and then we're going to attach whatever other crafty goodness we want to the front of our card. And this is going to hide our brad, so that's a technique you learned. You didn't just learn about extra stamping techniques today. You learned how to hide your brad. We were even talking about last week coloring the brad. You can color the brad with alcohol markers to hide them. So that's cool. Now check this out. See how that little fox is hanging over the edge? So if you want, you can put a little fox there. But I don't know if I want to hide that heart. I might end up putting put a little penguin there. So let's see. Take your bucket of crafty goodness. Yep, he would look cute there. But you're not going to do both. Maybe the penguin instead. So you're going to take your penguin. And that's the best part about having crafty goodness is everything fits over the top of everything else. I mean, I don't think you need both. I think he looks cute up there, kind of sleeping. But he would look good popped up. So I'm going to pop up the little penguin off to the side here. And then you can pop up other things. So I was thinking you could just cover up this tree and let it pop open and then have the little, here. Cover up the tree. Let the little snowman kind of have his hand reach in there. Or stick another tree. Or just take another tree. But I think I need to cover something. I need to put something there. I might need to put the little fox there because see the little rip in the paper? So let's see if I can't put the little snowman or the fox down here. Yeah, he will hide definitely this little rip in that paper that I did earlier. And so the fox with the little tree behind him will be fine too. I can do something like that where he's just hanging out, hiding behind the little guy. So the little fox is hanging out behind. like getting protection from Mr. Polar Bear. That's what's great, is every card is different. So stick him back there. That'll just get my rip to not show. The little rip in the paper. Oh, he's so cute. And then you put a little bit of these. And then some more Wink of Stella on your cards. Always add your Wink of Stella to all of these little, so I'll do that next, and then it's kind of our last finishing touch. And then I'll go over what we did so far in this series as well. All right, so Kathy's jumping in late. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Deborah. Oh, yeah, color the foam strips. I don't know who told me that idea, but good idea with the black on the sides of the foam strips. Okay, let's see. Pamela. Okay, hello. She has a small army of penguins. Kaz does. That's funny. And I hope I said hello to Denise from Denise and Deborah. Okay, so here we got our card. It's all finished. Now you're going to take your Wink of Stella, and you're going to put the Wink of Stella on all the critters, not just the one critter. Put it on all the critters. Right? So that's cool. And I'd even put it on these little critters up there, and I'm definitely going to put it on this little fox. And so now you have like loads and loads of fun. Start out your card, I would say, and I'm going to put Wink of Stella on this bear. Start out your card with the bear's head showing. So someone's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Even if they didn't even spin the card, it would be cool, right? You made such a cool card because you got this little like polar bear where he's 3D. Then you got his little head sunken in a heart. And even without even spinning the card, that looks cool. They're going to go, wow, this is such a cute card, right? And then then they can start spinning it. And then the fun begins. Like, it just is fun. So I love. Okay, and then you got the little, oops, it's getting stuck a little bit. That's because of the way I put my little foam. I have to adhere it a little better. So, got that. Now I'm going to show you what we've done in this series so far. Well, what we've done now on this video is we did, this is part 4. You got to learn how to make any of these kinds of cards. Everything I just showed you can be applied to all these cards. Right? Peace, Joy, and Kisses. These are the Give It a Whirl Penguin Playmates cards. It's just a matter of which shape you're going to use. Again, I recommend gluing these all down so they don't get stuck. Mine are getting stuck a little, but I have to get the glue out. Always use that Wink of Stella on the cards. Okay, we did these. Let me see. Here's another thing where I cut out 3 circles. So for this one, I cut out 3 circles, and I cut out the saying, be chill, or right, be cool. I put the be cool on the little piece of paper. Cut it out. So you learned how to do this technique, and now you're gonna take the saying, be cool, be chill, be merry, chop it up, and put it in the circles. Okay, so now you know how to do all these kinds of cards I just showed you. So this is part 4, and you're going to use your soft sea foam from your kit, and you're going to do all that. So then in part 3, I'm going to show you what we did in part 2 and 3. So I didn't get rid of I was going to give these away, but I haven't done it yet, so we get to still see my part 3. I'm probably going to save one, and somebody's going to get one. The last time I did a Butterfly Brilliance boot camp, I gave away a set of prizes made from those who got the kits. So we'll probably do that again. So we created a little hope box, and this was in part 3. It was called Box of Hope, and we did, let me start at the beginning. So we have to go back to the beginning, because the beginning is where, I think I said we have to turn it clockwise. Let's go like this. You have to start at the beginning of the sentence where there's a capital W. Okay, here we go. This is what we did in part 3. Where there is, so you start there. Someone gets the box, and you give them this mini mini paper pumpkin box, where there is, right? And they're going to turn it. They're going to turn it clockwise. That's what we decided, to turn it clockwise. It doesn't matter on the card we just made, but where there's hope, right? That was done that was Cajun Craze, just Jade. There is faith. So this is using the paper pumpkin stamps. But if you don't have paper pumpkin stamps, that's fine. I cannot stop spinning it, right? When you give this little box to someone, they're not going to be able to stop spinning it. Okay, and you can put like little things in there. I haven't given this away yet. I meant to, but just didn't happen. So you could fit your hand sanitizer, your different kinds of teas, your lip balm, candy, mini Tic Tac, right? Okay, and then here's another one. You make a difference every day. This one doesn't matter what order you put it in, or which order you turn it. Thinking of you. This was, again, another paper pumpkin stamp. This was Inspired Thoughts stamp set, and another paper pumpkin stamp. So you can just use any stamps you have. This one I didn't get the measurements wrong, but that's in part 3. I did give you the measurements. And this was my sample, but then later I cut it a little bit short in part 3. But you guys roll with it. So that was part 3. Then in part 2 of this series, we made Halloween cards. So again, more techniques, more tips. We did all kinds of different stamping. See how freely these move because of the way I raised this up. See, this moves much freely. And there's no little papers in there to get stuck. So we did Give It a Whirl cute Halloween cards. This was part 2. And I'm just showing you those. And then in part 1, in part 1, what I did in this series is just go over the dies so that I could take the mystery out of the dies for you. So this is just a lot of fun. I'm just accumulating like so many of these cards, and I've already given some away as well. I was planning on doing it with my paper pumpkin kits as well. The bat is upside down on purpose. So you mean endless fun, endless fun. You can take the extra parts that you're done stamping with, and you can put these on other cards. Like I put those on the tombstone boxes and everything else. That's one that's not finished yet. Here's one I made with something else. All right, so just to give you an idea of what you could do with this set. So I have a lot in my mind going on, and I have little Ferris wheel ideas with the Sweet Stockings critters. I was like thinking of a little Ferris wheel where the wheel spins and the little critters are going around in a wheel. I'm thinking of using the acetate box, the acetate piece I sent you for making something sort of invisible to spin around. I have a lot going on in my head, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing next, but I think I'm doing something with these critters, that I'm going to be coloring. So that's what I think I'm doing. But we don't know what part 5 will bring. Well, you will find out when I find out. I will publish part 5 in about a week or so. And this series will go on until the end of September. This Give It a Whirl series as we continue to make projects for the holidays. All right, well, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you coming. This is the Papered Chef, and we'll see you next time.